Yeah, we have you again.
All right. So a very quick introduction. So, as you might know, setting up different programming languages in Emacs is not always that easy. If you want to have access to fancy features like code completion, well, depending on the programming language that you're targeting, things might get a little bit messy. Some of them are reasonable successes, like at some point the Java support in JDE was not that bad. These days we have decent support with Clang for C, C++, although some of it might be a bit tricky to set up properly. In Python world, we have a great project, a great umbrella project, which is LPy, which is wrapping all the good things that you need to install to have a decent looking Python environment. But all this is fairly complicated. So recently I've been interested in the Go programming language. And one of the things that really sets it apart is Go has been engineered from day one to be tools friendly, right? So things like code completion, introspection of code, code parsing in general, reflection upon the documentation and so on. It's really meant to be easy. Therefore, some very generic tools have been developed to enable refactoring and what have you at the platform level, with the intent of making the job of the editors very simple. So that was all good. Now, that was a theory. I had to check whatever that meant in practice, right? So in practice, let me open my .emacs. In practice, a complete Go setup looks like this. Okay? So basically, after loading the Go mode, I'm just adding a hook, installing a hook over there, and it does a few things. So you might know that the format, Go has is very opinionated about how your code should look like. So there is a command that's called GoFMT, whose sole purpose in life is to reformat your code to make it adhere to the standards that are commanded. There is a slightly, a compatible version of this, which is called Go imports, which you can install the regular way, like a go get, go import, right? Which, in addition to formatting your code nicely, makes sure that the set of imports that you have in a given file is minimal, meaning that it is exact, actually. Meaning that it will automatically add the imports that you're missing for your code and removes the ones that are no longer needed if you just deleted a bunch of code. So in Emacs land, what that means is that before saving a file, what you can do is calling out to this function, which is doing something very simple, which is basically calling out to the Go FMT function, which in turn is just a wrapper around the command line invocation of Go FMT. Right. So concretely, what it looks like is like this. So I'm just adding a dummy import here. I'm saving, it just disappears because it's completely useless, and actually it does not even exist. So that's the kind of stuff that you get. Now if I, I'm not even able to mess up my indentation. Emacs is that good. So yeah, anyway, if I'm just messing things up completely, they're gonna fall back into place automatically, which is pretty nice because that means you don't have to care about anything really. You just write your code as you think in a very messy way, and then you hit save, and that fixes itself, which is nice. A second thing here is, okay, so this is not very interesting. This is more like the way I build stuff. So in addition to building, I like to test automatically. GoVet is about checking that your coding style is good or reasonably good. GoLint, GoVet is about avoiding typical pitfalls in the language, and GoLint is about to make sure that you respect the conventions. Okay, so another useful thing is GoDef. So GoDef is basically your way to browse the code. So you might know that in Lisp we know we like doing stuff like meta dots to jump to the definition of something. So here I just jump to the definition of company mode, right? So that's useful. Well, with GoDef, we have exactly the same capability with GoCode, right? So I just jump to the definition of the watch function here by hitting exactly the same shortcut, right? So that's good.
Does that work for things that aren't functions?
It should actually. That's it's CD client, so yeah, this is my CD client type. So this is struct, and well, I can go there and keep browsing, right? So just works pretty much. So that's cool. Oops, and I lost my screen. Oh, I lost my power. Oh my god. Okay, so that was it. So you can still see my screen. Oh no, you can't anymore. So that was good. Yeah.
Closing comments?
Yeah, sure. Oh, this is not the right one. Yeah.
We'll edit this out in post-production.
I knew I needed to be quick. Let's come back to life or not. Okay, that's going to be annoying. So let's give up on that one. The point is that I mean I can paste a link to my configuration file on GitHub. That would be just as good. The point is all the Emacs modules that are needed to do the link between the Go platform and your actual editor experience are very small wrappers on top of existing command line tools that are, by definition, editor agnostic, meaning that for a very cheap price, you get exactly the same support in Emacs, in Vim, in Sublime, whatever, which is a very nice feature to have. I remember back in 2013, during the first Emacs conference in London, we had a presentation from Steve Yege, from Google around a general toolkit that would expose refactoring like abilities for various programming languages. And when you think about it, the mere fact that this is even needed is a very sad state of affairs. It's much better when languages are engineered from day one to support that kind of stuff natively, and then have the editor just take care of the very minimal glue that's required to make everything work. So bottom line, for all of you who might have to write some Go code in the future, the very good news is it's not going to be as much pain as it might have been in the past, discovering a new language and coming up with the tooling and going to Emacs Wiki for for days at a time to hunt to hunt the exact snippet that might work for the upcoming 6 months, right? This is a much better story, and so basically, happy Emacs user and happy Go programmer now.
Woo!
Is there a refactoring support?
Yeah.
For like reading variables, stuff like that?
Yeah, there is. So again, the very nice thing is refactoring is taken care of by the tools, right? So GoFMT, for example, whose role is supposedly only to reformat your code, embeds some refactoring capabilities. So you have like a semantic patch feature that's embedded into GoFMT, which allows you to do stuff like pattern recognition and pattern replacements, really. So you're able to say, whenever I'm calling function foo on any object, substitute it with a call to function bar with that parameter instead, and stuff
So
like this.
Emacs doesn't even actually do the text changes. It makes this call out to
Exactly.
the process, and then it makes all the changes in the
Yeah.
lab.
So the very powerful thing is that the editor can be as stupid as you hope it would be. That's still not going to be a problem because the tooling is really at a lower level.
Do you find that you use stuff like that a lot?
Not a lot. Then, of course, I'm not very big on refactoring, generally speaking. But for the rare cases where I had to do this, it was really, really insanely convenient. Like being able, I mean, the kind of stuff that it enables is to guarantee consistency across the board in a code base whenever you want to change an API, for example. So the amount of time that you spend guaranteeing that you are backward compatible it's reduced by that much. Like, you don't care that much about being compatible. What you care about is that everybody uses the new version, right? So if you have full control over your consumers, which is typically the case in an enterprise world, where, well, you have your libraries and then you have end tools leveraging those libraries, then if you can guarantee that you're able to change all the tools at once to make use of the new version, then the old one can just go down the drain. It's never going to be missed, right? So, and that's also very powerful in the sense that since you don't have to maintain those two versions in parallel, I mean, those are a reduced number of bugs, and maintenance costs go down. And well, so everything, like the overall economics of this kind of model are very good, actually.
Cool.
All right.
Let's see. Was there any questions on IRC? I don't think so. But yeah, not destroy this computer. That was awesome. Thank you. Yeah, and Go is my main language. It's also the only language where I got like all of the like semantic tools to actually work. So like everything else, even like with eLisp, like I couldn't get like very basic things to work for me. What?
I didn't know they worked.
Yeah, exactly. But Go, it's like what you were saying. One of the reasons why they work is because you're just wrapping like command line tools, and so the eLisp code is like very, very dumb and simple. So there are fewer ways to screw it up. So.